Hi YouTube subscribers. That's the issue. I finally figured out what's wrong with my audio. What's wrong with my audio is that I speak too loudly, and so it comes through kind of weird. So I'm working on that. Remind myself to talk more softly. By the way, this is Mikey. My daughter named him after Monster Inc. And she wants me to dye him green for this Halloween. And I told her no. He wouldn't like being green. Even though she took blue chalk and colored him one day with blue chalk. And he was a blue kitty for a day. Until I bathed him. He puts up with a lot. Poor kitty. So, earlier I showed you polymer clay. Okay. Sorry about that. That was the lid. This is my recipe that I used, that I showed in the video. It didn't turn out like it normally does, which is a bummer. But it would make great molds. So that's kind of what I suggest. Is you could use it for molds, but for some reason it didn't. I think it's because I didn't have mineral oil and lemon juice, but it doesn't. When you tear it apart or you try to work with it, it's not quite like the polymer clay that you buy. This is a little stiffer, so it's not going to be easy to work with. I'm going to try warming it up to, you know, like you can warm up clay with your fingers, the heat of your hands. If you have problems in my first video getting it to clump together, just toss it back in the pan and warm it up a little bit, and then dump it back on your cookie sheet, and you shouldn't have a problem getting it all together. So I got the whole dough. Show you how. Come this way, I guess. It makes, you know, about a fistful. So it's like I said, it's like I'm trying to break off a piece. It's a little stiff. It's not as smooth and soft as when I use mineral oil. But that could just be the canola oil. So I'm gonna go out tomorrow and buy some mineral oil, which I can pick up at Walmart. A lot of places have Walmarts. Some of them are just like an hour away. But I highly suggest use the mineral oil. Yeah, I've had more luck with mineral oil. And I'm not happy with the way this turned out, but it will be okay. Because like what I want to make with it is like a goddess sculpture. I'm just not seeing it going together real well unless I make a water mesh base. If you don't know what that is, you take some of your clay, you mix it, or your clay, you mix it with water, so it becomes kind of like diluted. And you take your clay, like say, this is your stand, and you want to make another piece sit on top of it. You take a fork and you run it across to kind of score the area where you wanted the next piece of your clay to sit, and you score the bottom of the other piece so you can like stick them on there together. But before you do that, you want to take the piece that you mixed with water and you want to brush it on the bottom and the top so they can mesh together. that's what I would suggest doing here. And then taking a piece and working it down and trying to smooth it out with just a little bit of water. When using water on this, it's going to make it very tacky, very sticky. So you need to be aware of that. It's going to be very tacky, very sticky, because this is like, half of it's glue. So when you get glue wet, it's just going to get sticky again. So just be aware of that when you're working with water to help smooth out your layers. As I'm kind of talking to you, I'm trying to make something. I like to use my my coffee table, only because it's easiest for me to sit. Since I did use oil, even if you use mineral oil, it can get your surfaces a little greasy, so be aware of that. But I use Clorox, and it comes right off, and it's not a big deal. At least not for me. And the reason why I do this is, if you didn't get, a lot of people didn't get far into my video with my trunk, which is okay. Most people only watch the first 5 minutes. So I'm going to redo that one, I think. And I might even redo this one later down the road, but we'll see. Basically, I want to make a stand, so I flatten it, and I want it to be squared in a way, and I don't want it to be too big, because you've seen some other people's altars, they can get pretty crowded. So I want to keep this kind of a decent size, and I also want to keep it small so that way it can fit right into a travel altar. It wouldn't be a big deal. And I'm just doing this just to show you like what the issue is. And I told you how to fix it. It smooths out nicely. It comes out pretty nice. You are going to need some water to smooth out like the folds. And I just like my finger and rub, and that's just, because I don't care. And I just remember what side I'm working on to smooth out, because to me that's the main side to work on. Who cares what the bottom looks like, right? So I just smooth it out, like so. And so I got my base kind of going. It's not perfect, but hey. All of us are not perfect, right? We strive to be, but nothing is perfect. Even the goddess and goddesses have, or the god and god, yeah, the god and goddess have flaws. Ooh, I can't talk today. But here you go. So, there's my base, and I wanted to keep my statue upright. So, one thing you need to remember is, with all sculptures, and I'm only going to make this about yay tall. It's going to be the same height, about the same height, a little taller than the base. If you ever seen, a lot of people have seen this, as the curved, for the goddess, they've seen the curved, the curved form, right? I know a lot of people have seen it. So I'm working on a basic shape here. Like I said, I probably want a little bit thicker than that, so I'm going to look at a different piece. And just remember, like, the more you work with it, the softer it's going to be. which is kind of like your polymer clay anyway. You just gotta keep that in mind. I wish I had a hairdryer on unpacked, but I don't. Because sometimes just even with polymer clay, warming up with a blow dryer makes it easier to work with. So just keep that in mind. If you have one, pull it out. It's going to be your best friend. But you don't want to get it too close. You don't want to get too warm. You don't want it too warm for you to handle. But yeah, you want to get... I'm just trying to get the basic shape here. Like I said, one issue I've found with this olive oil, it doesn't mesh all that well together, so keep trying to get a good shape to everything. Hopefully it'll kind of mesh nicely, kind of like that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to lick my finger. I'm going to try to smooth out some of these creases that are imperfections. I don't know if you can see that. And the little cracks and creases. You probably don't want to watch all this, but basically, I'm going to show you. I don't have a fork on me, but I do have here in my handy dandy bag next to me. So I have a pen. So basically, you're going to take it, you're going to scratch in the bottom of your stand here. You're going to take the bottom of your statue while it's still wet, or while you're, the idea. You're going to take this, you're going to deform that so they kind of mesh. You want to mix this with water. Kind of gross. Yuck. And you want to make kind of like a texture here. You don't want it that thick, but you're going to smack that right in there. Then you're going to take your finger and you're just going to do this little thing here. You're going to smooth that out so it looks smooth. Just like I was licking my finger and working with this clay. Okay, so you got this nice shape going on your stand. I think I'm going to go ahead and make this the male shape. The male shape has more of a triangular shape to them. So I'm going to go ahead and pinch here. And as I pinch here, I'm going to push down. And that will give him kind of the triangular shape that I'm looking for. Another thing to always have on hand, which I didn't bring with me, is a butter knife. Because that's going to, make your sides smoother. You can use it to keep them flat. And I'm looking for a triangle shape. So I'm going to take my pen, since it's all I have, and I'm going to push in a little bit on this side to make that dent a little bit better. And over here as well. And as you see, I'm starting getting a little bit of a triangle shape. And then I'm going to put a head on here, and then I'm going to put the arms up over him, connecting just like the female. But basically, that is going to be kind of what you do. Or if you just want to go out and buy polymer clay, you can kind of do this as well, and then just bake it. Totally your choice. I like making it because then it's like I made everything. And you can make all kinds of stuff. You can make owls. You can make your own little, I've seen them for sale, but you can make your own little pentagram for your altar to hold your candle snuffer. You can use kind of, everything. So it's, it's kind of up to you what you want to do. So I'm going to play with this, and so you just go on about your experimenting with the polymer clay. Thank you. Have a great day. Oh yes, and like us at Wiccaonabudget on Facebook.com. Thank you. Have a great day.